Welcome back. In our previous tutorial, we made sure that our application is running on port 300, and in this episode of this tutorial, we will connect our database. We will create our database using Postgres SQL, and we will get a connecting string using a universal database client that is dbbeaver. And okay, now need it. This is we will use this one. If you have not downloaded it, this is the official page. This is the official page, and you see this icon here. And for admin PG admin 4 graphic UI is this one. So let's go to admin 4. In my my Postgres management dashboard, that is at PG admin 4, I have several databases. I have 4 databases, and now I want to create a new database that is called my task. So what I'll do here, I'll come here on database, return database, right click, create a database. I give it a name, my task. You can leave yours as Postgres, but mine, I'll change mine. Don't forget the owner, the owner. So then we save, and then Postgres 17, my task is created. So we have a new database created here. Now we need a connection string to this database, but because this is the management that Postgres SQL management dashboard, it does not offer me an option of having the URL. What I'll do, I'll close this one and I'll open my new my database client, that is dbbeaver, sorry. And I'll come here, new database connection. I'll click there, and we can see different uh, databases. We have Postgres SQL, MariaDB, MySQL, all these databases. We can connect them using this DB client, but for now I'm using Postgres, so I'll choose Postgres. Then I choose next. Um, I'll have localhost port 50. This is my port now. Oh, my database. Remember, I changed my database name to my task. Then authentication will use username and password. Also remember, I changed my username to the user, and I remember my password as. Don't forget your password the moment you create your username and password the first time, though you can change. Then I'll test my connections. Let's test. Then connected successfully. So okay. Then we finish the connection. So what we do now is we come in here and we see a connect we see a string here. Sorry. To get the string, the connection string, we'll come click here, edit, then we copy this string. We make sure we have this string. So cancel. After we understand that, we will come to our .env file, and we will store our localhost there. Sorry, our host, the port that we are running on, our database is running on, the name of the database, the username, and our password. So in a minute, I'll show you. So we want to our application. We start by our application will be running. Let's say 500, 5,000, and then in our .env file, we will make sure that the localhost, our application will be, the whole application will be running on port 5,000, not port 3,000 as the testing was showing here. It will change to 5,000. Then we will make sure that we have DB host. The host will be localhost, and the port is 5432, database name, DB name, then the username, then the password. I'll put the password here. So yes, now in our database db.js, we want to connect the database or do the configuration here. So this, the code will be create new pool, then yes. So this is the connection class from Node Postgres SQL. Then we need to import pool. PG. Then you remember we installed .env, and we said .env will allow us to will help us communicate, to have better communication with the .env. It's a lightweight library that will help load sensitive configuration from from the hidden .env file to our application. So I need to undo again. Then we undo this again. So we can keep that and keep this. Sorry for that. I will explain what happened there. So what we'll do, we get back to our db.js. Then we do what? We want to allow .env so .env .config. So on top we need to import. So for now we have imported. We have this pool, then it exports pool. So to get our information, we use process.env. Then I have done some improvement on this file. I have added some checks for password. If the password is wrong, uh, uh, an error will be raised. If the username is wrong, an error will be raised. If the DB name is not correct, uh, the error will be raised. So nice. Then in our server.js, we want to make sure that our application will be running on port 500. So what we will do is we will come here in line 10, where we have a variable called port, and say process process get to port. So it will load this port from .env and display on the terminal rather than having 33,000 in the terminal. So to make sure this will happen, we need to have .env config. So .config, then we import the .env file. So if we run our application, pm dev, now our application is running on port 500, and we have injecting env6 from .env file. Multiple files have the bug of this tab. So we have connected our database. This is the connection class, and we have our configuration on our .env file. So that is done for that. That is it for this tutorial. See you on the next one, where we'll be writing functions and getting, creating, updating uh, our tasks. Yes.